Hovercraft WAKAMO is going to be extremely annoying, especially if you want to do the insane difficulty one for the free-to-play players out there. Especially, I do think that you're going to struggle a little bit if you're lacking this one character, and that is going to be a limited character, New Year Fuuka. Now let's talk about a little bit more in terms of mechanics about Hovercraft WAKAMO, give you guys a better idea on who is the best character to bring. Now MIKA is going to be a staple DPS by far. No questions asked. She's the best character for this, alright? So if you're looking for a DPS, MIKA is going to be the way to go. Now you might need two MIKA because if you're tackling Insane, you're going to need two for Team 1 and Team 2, right? You can't one team this in Insane. In Hardcore, doable for sure. And then you also have Tsubaki as your tank, alright? She's very good for CC as well. Koharu is needed as a healer. And then Kayoko is here. Now, you can see this team has an issue, right? You are going to run into the issue where there's not enough cost. That's why you need New Year Fuuka. New Year Fuuka is a must-have. Now, you can't really use Ui here because I tried to slot in Ui and it's not going to be enough. MIKA cannot tank alone, so you need a tank, you need Tsubaki. Now, if you bring Tsubaki, MIKA and Tsubaki is pretty much a must-have, right? One damage dealer, one a tank. And then Koharu is a healer. Now, if you don't use Kayoko, you use Ui instead, it's not going to be enough. The CC is... You are going to run out of the CC bar, and Tsubaki herself doesn't generate that much CC bar, which I will show you guys a little bit, right? To be honest, that's going to be like a separate issue altogether, right? And this is something that I think might be a first big struggle for some free-to-play players out there. So if you can't do Insane, don't be ashamed of this, especially if you don't have New Year Fuuka. Now, if you can only do Hardcore, I have already a guide. Make sure you guys watch that guide that I released a few months back on how to do it with one team, right? Very, very simple, very straightforward. I believe it's this exact same team, maybe minus Tsubaki. You can take out Tsubaki and put in an Ui. And then you can basically just solo this and then bring Akko and Himari instead of New Year Fuuka. But because you need two teams, I'll explain to you, right? The second team, we're gonna need Ui. You need Ui for the second team. So you can't, there's just no option for you. There's no two Ui, right? Unless you borrow Ui, but you need to have two MIKA, right? You need to borrow MIKA instead. So there's just no good option right there. So this is by far going to be the simplest, most straightforward team. And hopefully, you know, hopefully you guys can do this. Let's jump into it. Okay, I'm going to try my best to explain what is happening. So pay very close attention, alright? So especially with WAKAMO CC bar, that big circle right here. So that thing is going to be very, very important. Now, first things first, what you want to do, alright, wait a little bit. So you want to see if Kayoko can apply her basic attack. If you guys are not aware, Kayoko has a 30% chance to apply CC by herself. So we want to go in with New Year Fuuka on MIKA. Alright, for the timing. Okay, Kayoko did apply that on her own. Very good. So we're going to go Himari. And then Tsubaki, we're going to stun her. And then we're gonna go MIKA. Now if Kayoko didn't apply that thing, then you are going to need to use Kayoko instead. Kayoko can fill more CC bar than Tsubaki. Alright, keep that in mind. So adjust that accordingly. If you see Kayoko apply that 30% chance thing, then just use Tsubaki. But for the second turn onwards, it's not going to be enough. Now, what do I mean by second turn onwards is not going to be enough? Because this turn, so basically for those of you who don't understand the CC bar, that circle thing, the first bar requires less CC gauge to fill, the second bar requires more, and then the third bar requires the most. Alright, so it's going to be 3 bar. So the third one is the last one. There's 3 CC bars for you to try to take advantage of. And notice Kayoko already filled 1 bar, which is very good. Very, very good. So we're going to try to fill 1 more. Okay, so this is going to be the third one. Okay, we did heal up a little bit. Very, very scary. Okay, so now we are going to move to the second phase. I would call this the next phase, right? Alright, so you want to forfeit immediately once you enter into phase 2, right? So as you can see, that was a pretty successful run. The reason why you want to forfeit is you don't need to take too much time because phase 2 you're gonna need a separate team anyway, so you don't want to You want to try to beat the boss in the limited amount of time possible. That's why you forfeit. Okay, so now with the second team, this is going to be much more straightforward and much more simpler. You want to borrow a MIKA. Now, I want to explain a little bit why you want to use these characters, right? Now, if you guys are not aware, Hovercraft WAKAMO has this mechanic right here. When the Hovercraft is attacked 15 times, damage received increased by 10%. Now, this thing can be stacked. I know as crazy as it sounds, you can see it stacks up to 30 times, which is insane, alright? If you think about it, you gotta like abuse the stack. So who is the best character to do that? Neru. Neru has a very I don't know how many hits her EX skill hits, but it's like lots of hits. It's like more than 10, right? 10 to 20 hits, and then you bring Utaha alongside with that to be able to help you boost the power as well, because Utaha can summon turrets. Now, good thing about Utaha right here, you don't need to use her skill. She's there passively. You only need to use MIKA, Ui, and Neru, and then Akko, right? To buff MIKA constantly. The rest you don't really need to care about. So just go with this, and I'm going to show you guys. This is like a very, very simple and much more straightforward than the first team. Ooh, Maki with a smile there. Okay, so let's jump into this. Keep in mind, the order is going to be very strict. And if you think this is very overwhelming, just try to slow down your time. Notice there's these turrets at the side. You don't really need to care about those. Start off with Ui on MIKA, right? And then get ready with Akko and then MIKA. Alright, just go in with like 6 costs, right? Because we 3 plus 3. So gonna go with Akko buffing MIKA, and then MIKA gonna go Okay, so just do as follows. Alright, we can use... Okay, we don't have to use Neru, but we can use Neru now. And then Ui can buff Neru now, because we already... MIKA has like that 2-hit thing, right? So there will be a lot of missiles incoming. Just ignore them, right? Just use your usual Akko and then MIKA. And then use Neru on the turret. Hopefully try to get rid of it. And then MIKA 2 tries is done. So Ui, remember Ui's ultimate lasts for 2 tries. That's very, very important. And I don't think we need to worry about that. So gonna go Akko buff MIKA. And then MIKA just gonna go. Okay, now we're gonna go Ui on Neru. I'm pretty sure. Ui on Neru. And then we're gonna go with 6 costs. Wait for 6 costs. The order is very important, right? So Ui is on Neru. So the next one is going to be Ui on MIKA. Okay, Ui is on MIKA now. Ui is on MIKA right now. Okay. Again, wait for 6 costs. And then this is where this is going to give you the best opportunity for you to do a bunch of stuff. Back to Neru. Okay. I can't see the HP. Is it there? 6 costs. 6 costs. Again, you can see. Don't worry too much about what's the name. Don't worry about. I guess I'm just gonna go in. Oh, I misclicked right there. Oh crap. Yeah, I think I misclicked right there. So go in here. Ui and Neru. I might have a... Yeah, I went to the wrong character actually. Should have gone Ui on MIKA. So definitely sometimes that can happen. Is this going to mess up a lot of things? Not much. But you can see the time left. I still have quite a number of time left, right? But I did mess up the order there. Did mess it up a little bit. Okay, hopefully. So since we did buff MIKA, these smokes can sometimes throw me off a little bit. 6 costs. 6 costs. Because you can't see who you're buffing, right? Okay. So as you can see, barely enough. I made a mistake there a little bit, right? With the second team, I think I used my Ui on the wrong character. But you can see Maki is there to apply defense decrease via her passive skill. And then of course you have Utaha is just there to summon turrets to help you out with the number of hits. Same goes for Neru. So those are the very passive characters. So this is how you want to do it with 2 team. I can't figure out how you can do Hovercraft WAKAMO with 1 team. I don't think it's possible yet. I could be wrong, but I do think that the second one is going to be easier than the first one. The first one is going to be the struggle for most players. So yeah, I do think that if you don't have New Year Fuuka, I think it's really hard, man. Like this is going to be a very, very hard raid because you need Ui for the second team and you need 2 MIKA. So if you don't have New Year Fuuka, I'm curious, right? For those of you guys who don't have New Year Fuuka, how are you guys doing the insane raid? Let me know in the comment section below. You know, I'm extremely curious if there's any like special strat that I'm not aware of, but I'm sure like maybe you can cheese something with swimsuit cheese or whatsoever, but it's just going to be way harder on your first team moving forward. So yeah, insane, if you can do insane, right? As you can see, that's my rank on Asia server at 851. So hopefully, you know, this guide can help some of you guys out there to try to do this with 2 team. I know this is going to be a hard, difficult boss, especially if you don't have New Year Fuuka. Now, I think that's gonna be it for this particular video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Give this video a like if you guys find this helpful at all. If you are looking to only beat 1 team with hardcore, I'll have the separate video that you guys can watch right here. So yeah, have a nice day. Goodbye.